Tony D and Little Joan somewhere in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Canary Black, um, starring that woman who's in all these movies. What's her face? And it's a spy thing. It's an alias thing. It's you know exactly what it is. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. From the director of Taken. He's got a very specific set of skills. Comes a story we've seen like gazillion times. Like 9 gazillion times. That's a technical term for a lot of times. 9 gazillion times. A hot chick who can beat up a very large male stuntman as she is betrayed by the agency. October 24th on Prime. Rated R for adult situations. Yeah, we've seen this too many times. Too many times. And again, part of the problem is spy movies still don't work. The hitman or hitwoman movies kind of don't work anymore. If they ever did. Like, there were times in history when there was so much crime and people didn't really know about these organizations. Maybe you can make these work. Now it's like, oh yeah, you go down to the vending machine, buy yourself a hitman or a hitwoman, and sign her to kill someone. Oh, but be careful, she might have a heart of gold and decide not to murder the person you're mad at, and come back and kill everybody else for some reason. Which happens in every movie. Like, that's all these hitmen and hitwomen do. You sent, I'm going on one last assignment. One last assignment. Yeah, this is the assignment where you turn on us and try to kill us all. But we're going to try to kill you. It's the same damn movie. How many times are we going to see it? I mean, I like these movies, but Jesus. Mix it up a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Mix it up. How about a movie where there's a hitman who's not retiring, but then he has to kill the agency anyway, like that. That would be a little different. That would be like marginally different. We've already done the hitman that's already retired. Now we're doing the hit woman who somehow maintains a life with a husband who doesn't know anything about her work. Because that sounds realistic, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound realistic that your wife could be gone for days and weeks murdering people, using her kung fu and her guns, and then she just comes back and you don't suspect a thing. Don't expect a damn thing. Honey, why are there so many bullets in your pocket? Oh, I don't know. It was from a trade show. But that all being said, the first thing I thought when I heard Canary Black is Black Canary from DC Comics. So, terrible title. You shouldn't call it Canary Black. Was the original name Black Canary? And you went, ooh, that's a DC Comics thing. We're going to have to mix it up. Oh, well, just switch the words around. Nobody will notice. What the hell's her name? I can't think of her name. We'll find out in a minute. All right, so first act. I mean, do I need to explain this one? First act, she's a murderous hit woman who does jobs for the mysterious agency, which is supposed to be a CIA, but we don't want to say the CIA. We don't want to piss them off, so we say the agency. And she's fine with murdering other characters, but then one day she's sent. She goes too far, or she's sent on a mission of some import and comes back. And then she comes home to find her husband. Husband is kidnapped. Oh, she's a murderous superwoman, but somehow they steal her husband right out from under her. Oh, the irony. And now they want her to steal something called the Canary Black, some kind of file, and betray her agency. So she does. And then she has to get her husband back, because that sounds like something they'll do, like give back her husband. Obviously going to try to kill her, so not sure how that's going to roll. But okay, I can accept it for the premise of the movie. And then she fights like a million dudes in her own agency, and then this other guy's agency, the evil guy, and then fights the bad guy at the end in the third act. Saves her husband. The end. The end. Yeah. Would I watch it? Hard, but maybe. I mean, I got to be honest. Seeing a woman in this role, it doesn't seem that realistic, especially when she's doing kung fu. Like if she's tricking dudes into giving her cash, then I'm like, yeah, oh, I could see that. Like if she's in cute little outfits and they're like, hey, baby, hey, let's have a drink, and she like poisons their drink and they drop dead. Oh, I could see that. But beating the hell out of dudes, no, can't see that really. Let's read the write-up. A top CIA operative. Oh, so it is the CIA. Avery Graves is blackmailed by terrorists into betraying her own country to save her kidnapped husband. Cut off from her team, she turns to her underworld contacts to survive and help locate the coveted intelligence that the kidnappers want. Betrayed at every turn, she must rely on her cutting-edge training and primitive fighting skills in a deadly race to deliver a ransom that could trigger a global crisis. Yeah. The problem is the same. Like, how does she realistically expect to get her husband back? These people are, I mean, the stakes are too high. You know? They're just too high. You know, sure, okay, they make the exchange. She gets her husband back. She's got a gun. He's like wounded. They're limping around. Like, and then they just send a hit team and kill them both. Like, I don't see how this exchange could possibly work. Don't see how it could possibly work. But I guess it's gonna happen somehow. So, would I watch it? I might, but man, the bar on this has got to be like sky high for me, because I've seen so many of these, you know, and that's part of the problem. Like, and where they spend all the money is in the action, which I do like. I do enjoy good action sequences, but my God, I now long for the days where there's an actual plot here, when there's an actual, you know, screenwriters used to read books and newspapers and then concoct a story based on. Marathon Man was based on a newspaper article that William Goldman read, and it inspired him to write the story, and it was kind of unique. The opening of Marathon Man, if you've never seen it. This just seems, you know, like a by the numbers. She's going to take down the evil bad guys, you know? I would like to see a little bit of exposition. Tiny, like back in the day, I used to complain there was too much. And that was a cheap way that producers could get through a movie and not have pay a lot of stuntmen and special effects and whatnot. And they would have all this exposition. I'd be like, oh my God, the exposition. Well, now I'm like numb because there's so much action. There's almost no plot. I watch the movies and I go, well, how did this all happen? What country are these people from? Like, that's what the movies are missing now. They're so heavy on everything else. They're all icing and no cake. It's like getting a cake almost completely made of icing. Whereas before you'd get cake and a tiny bit of icing. You want a balance. You want enough icing on the cake, but you don't want all icing. You want some cake. Where's my cake? It's not here, I would guess, based on this trailer. It's just relentless pacing and boom, 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 boom. Again, to some extent, I really like that, and I really wanted that back in the 80s and 90s, but now I'm just numb, man. You know, you got to do such amazing stunt work to even get my attention. You know, it's time to put a little work in the scripts, a tiny bit. Read a book or a newspaper article, something about some of this intrigue and incorporate it into the script. I'm begging you to incorporate something like that in the script, just to give me a little taste of realism, a little taste of something that could anchor this in reality, and I could go, okay, I understand the stakes. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and little Joan probably behind me. I'm going to take her on a WALK. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, I'll be at the Hamilton Historical Society at 7 p.m. This is the Atlantic County one in Mays Landing, New Jersey, for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. It's at the Presbyterian Church right there on the Pine Barrens Byway. On Thursday, I'll be at the Marcus Hook Library at 5 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Saturday, I'll be at Second Time Books in Mount Laurel for a signing. I believe that starts at 10 a.m. And then on Sunday, I'll be at Seabright for SeaCon and a big comic book convention. Hope to see you there. We'll see you